Well, I was born in Germany in 1932, just a few weeks ago, on March 23rd. So I just had my 80th birthday. And my family comes from Mainz, Germany, which is a little bit east of Frankfurt. And the family goes back. I've been doing a little bit of genealogy, and the family been able to trace them back in that general area to the mid-18th century, and that's sort of where my information stops. My grandfather had a hardware store there in which my father worked. My father was one of four siblings. He had a sister who was a nurse in World War I for Germany, of course, and then against her father's wishes became a physician and ultimately emigrated to the United States and became a psychoanalyst. Another brother became an ophthalmologist, and so I have a little bit of a physician background in my family. And one other brother was also in business with my father in the hardware store. And then partly because of my aunts coming to the United States and seeing what was going on in Germany in the 1930s, my mother finally convinced my father to emigrate. And he came over in February 1937, having gotten one affidavit from some relatives of his who had emigrated to the United States in the early 20th century. And we followed afterwards in January 1938. So I was raised in Washington Heights in New York City. So that's sort of the background.
When did your aunt come to the States?
She came over, I think, in maybe the mid-30s or maybe 1936, 37. I remember, and I think I mentioned that in my little autobiographical thing, that she came back to visit, and I remember that visit very well because she brought with her a little Lone Ranger toy that I remember. So I must have been 5 years old at the time. So I was just short of 6 when we emigrated, came over.